Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. How you doing today? How has your week been? It's another beautiful Friday evening on the Wora Gold channel, and I'm so happy that you're watching again this evening. If you're new here or if this is my first video you're seeing, hello, hi. Please don't make this your last video. Subscribe, turn on your bell notification, and interact with the channel. Go back and forth. There are videos that will help you. I'm very, very certain. I'm big on videos that are helpful to you, especially if you're a new mom or an immigrant. You'll definitely find something that is helpful for you on the channel. So please interact. And if you're a returning subscriber, you already know how much I love you. This much. I'm still perfecting this love. I love you so much. Thank you so much for coming back and welcome back. Today's video is all about my breastfeeding journey. And to be honest, like I struggled with making this video if it was necessary or not. But then I just always believe that even if it is one person that my video is useful to, I'm satisfied literally. I'm happy, I'm content. So basically, my breastfeeding journey started like this. First of all, I did not give breastfeeding too much thought when I was pregnant. Like, obviously, I was dealing with too many things in pregnancy for me to even consider or think about breastfeeding. And I didn't have antenatal. So if you've watched my pregnancy journey and if you've been an OG, you already know that I didn't get too much information while pregnant. So I didn't do antenatal. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't even think about breastfeeding. And the image of breastfeeding in my head, like thinking of it now, the image I've always had of breastfeeding is women carrying their baby, putting them to breast, are smiling happily, looking down at their baby. That's the image I've always had in my head, like so you know what that image gives you now. It makes you feel like okay, it's you just put your baby to breast and then they will suck. Oh my, I didn't know that it's a whole different ball game. And if you're pregnant and you're watching this, try as much as possible to get all the information you can about breastfeeding because that's one thing that can stress you and push you into postpartum depression quickly. So the main advice I got when I was pregnant about breastfeeding was from my friend Tumishe. Hi Tumishe. She literally told me, oh, that I should make sure that I'm rubbing my nipple every morning in pregnancy. Like I should try to be rubbing my nipple so that my nipple will not go inside and everything. So religiously, the only thing I did during pregnancy was I'll use coconut oil or ori, that shea butter, or any oil around me. I'll use it to massage my nipple. I'll pull it out with my hand, and then the thing will be standing. So in my mind, oh mom, we're ready for the breastfeeding game. The reason why she said I should do that was that when she gave birth to her first child, her nipple was inverted, and she said that it was because she wasn't pulling it out during pregnancy, blah 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 blah. So obviously, I was doing that religiously. I did that to the point that at I think 35 weeks or so, I already started seeing cholesterol. So I know this thing now because I've experienced it. I've gone through it, and I've had to research, but at the time, I didn't know what it was. I even thought that breast milk was already coming out. Well, cholesterol is the first and the LDS part of breast milk. Is it LDS or the most nutritious part of breast milk? So if I had known at the time, and you know, I would have collected the cholesterol. It was when my friend was doing as that I now realized that was after I had my baby that you could actually collect your cholesterol, in all these syringes, and then you can freeze it in advance for the baby. So I didn't know all these things. So in my sweet mind, I thought I was rubbing it too much that the breast milk had started flowing. So obviously that was not even a worry. I just wanted the baby out of me. So fast forward to when I gave birth at the hospital. So of course I had emergency C-section, and because of that, I myself was dealing with a lot of healing. I was in so much pain and everything. When I met the baby, I put her to my chest. We had like a few moments of skin to skin. And then the midwife from the theater was like, oh, would I like for her to collect some cholesterol, That was the first time I heard the word colostrum. So that first breast milk, I was like, oh, fine. So she used the syringe to collect some, and she fed my baby like two or three syringes, very tiny. I think it was 1 ml syringe. So she fed the baby like 3 ml.
She's sucking the syringe. Yeah.
So I remember the morning I got to the ward from the theater, like obviously baby was sleeping, and then after the midwife took me to have my bath and I came back to the bed, I needed to feed my baby because she was crying. I didn't know what to do. Like, okay, I tried to put her to breast, but she wasn't saying. She was sucking her fingers. She was obviously hungry. She started to cry, so I started to panic. And then the midwife on duty was like, "Oh, do I want this disposable cow and gate formula that they have? Like, it's not even hot. It's like ready to go." So I was like, "Oh well, anything to feed the baby right now." So I collected one of that, and that one I was supposed to feed her whatever she eats within 2 hours. Even if she didn't finish, even if she does not finish it, I'm supposed to throw it away. So I fed my baby that bit at the hospital. So because I had that, the excitement and everybody coming around, and like people calling and everything, so it didn't make me pay attention to what was going on. I tried to put her to breast a couple of times, but I wasn't able to. It wasn't comfortable for both of us, and I didn't know how to. So I remember asking for help from the midwife, and then the only thing that they told me was, "Oh, I just have to keep trying. You have to keep trying." So keep trying was, like I didn't even give it too much thought until I got home. Let me even leave the hospital part because I didn't get any help at the hospital. So when I got home, the night I got home, like the reality dawned on me. It was like everything was just not in the right place that night. And then, you know, time to feed the baby, she started to cry. The baby was not latching, and I was almost losing my mind. Even my breast milk wasn't necessarily coming out well. It was just that drop, the cholesterol bits that was still coming out. So it's like drop, like like little drops of water. And I was like, what is this child supposed to eat? I almost lost it. I had to tell my husband to go and get formula. He didn't know what to buy. He sure bought. Eventually, we figured that out, and then he brought one. And then I started to cry. Luckily, my angel friend Tumishe called again. And then, she was like, Bora, why are you crying? I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to feed this child. I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm frustrated. She said, calm down, calm down, calm down. What is the problem? I said, I can't breastfeed. I'm trying. She said, but you have breast pump. I said, yes, I have breast pump. She said, then use it. I said, I don't know how to use it. I just started crying again. In my head, I didn't even think that I should go to YouTube to check how to couple my breast pump. So she was like, okay, calm down, bring it out. We did video call. I put my phone on the tripod. She was like, okay, do it like this, do it like that. I think she was even also watching a video to show me how to do it. So she literally like put me through that night, and I was able to couple the breast pump after washing it, of course. After I coupled it, then I did the first pumping session, and I was successful. And then I was able to get like from both breasts on that very first day that I pumped. I was able to get like 100 ml. I was so happy because at that time my baby was still eating 30 ml. She was just 2 days old, or 3 days, no, 3 days old. So she was still on 30 ml from a fourth, fifth day that she started to eat 60 ml. But she was on 30 ml, so I had 100 ml. So that was success. I was so happy. I didn't know too much about freezing as well and keeping it, but like I was just happy. And then I had some breast milk bag that came with some of the bottles that we got. So I was able to keep the rest. And then, like, so I was at peace, after that first letdown. But, like, and then, because I had figured out pumping, I genuinely did not think about putting my baby to breast any further, like, because my priority at that point, because if you watch my previous video on my delivery story, you know that my baby was small. She weighed 2.2 kg at birth. So I was really, worried about that. I really wanted her to eat, and I wanted her to eat well. And then I remember one of the nurses telling me that it was the best thing for me to breastfeed her because of her weight. because the breast milk has the most nutrients, and like would you will help her get all the weight that she didn't get in pregnancy. So that was what was on my head. I just wanted to get it right. Every time my mom and my mother-in-law would call, we'll be like, oh, put that to breast, put that to breast. I'll try, I'll struggle with it. I remember my friend in Canada also called Fatih. She tried to show me how to put that to breast. Taught me different method, but I just wasn't really getting it. And she was always frustrated. I think what discouraged me the most was the fact that she was always crying a lot every time I tried to put her to breast. So she was literally struggling to latch, and it made me sad, and it made me really pity her every time she was struggling. So I just really prioritized pumping. I really prioritized pumping, and I really prioritized just making sure that she had food to eat. So even though pumping was very, very painful at that time, I didn't mind. I had to endure the pain because obviously, what else would I have done? At the beginning, around like the first, second week, I started to express more. My supply began to increase. At this stage, like at least there was enough food for baby. So I settled for expressing majorly by the first month because that was the easiest thing that came to me, and that was I just wanted to feed my baby. That was my priority. During this first month, I realized that I was an overproducing mom. I did not even realize on time. I just thought that why is this thing always dripping? Literally, I'll finish pumping now. The next minute, my clothes is full, my breast is hot and heavy, everything lets down everywhere. Everything I wear is drenched in breast milk. It was like it was never ending as I'm pumping. Like in the next 30 minutes, I'm already dripping again. Like I was so frustrated. I was so tired. I was like, why? Why is this thing like this? It was so painful as well. So um that first month I was doing like I'll do 150, 150, then 150. I'll do 450 ml, literally 450 ml in one sitting, and then in the next 1.5 hours I'm ready to do another 300 ml, like 150, 150. Like it was so frustrating, I'm not even going to lie. So I had to be pumping, and so I had a lot of breast milk, like in storage, and like I had too much in the fridge. Then I had to start doing the freezing one, and luckily, thank God for Instagram. At the time, I started to see a lot of breastfeeding posts and new moms how they store milk. So obviously I learned how to store, and then I knew that freezing your breast milk can last up to 3 to 6 months. So I didn't worry again. I started to store. Literally, my breast milk was so much to the point that I had to actually start throwing it away at some point because I was like, who's going to finish all of this? Like my baby's not even eating this much. Like I had too much, and I was like, like I started to use breast milk the way I liked. So basically, because I had the luxury of breast milk, I used it for everything. Bathed my baby with it, you know. I wasted it so much, like because like it was just too much. And at some point, my husband was like, "Are you sure we will not donate this breast milk?" And then he started to research for places where you can donate. But I just know that, I just felt that the supply might not always be this much. So apparently, between your first few months of postpartum, your milk supply, increases and peaks. So I think it peaks at, between 3 to 4 months. That's when it peaks. Your baby's demand will not increase for milk. Is about the same thing. So your body already understands for your baby. For whatever reason, I just had too much, and being an overproducing mom was very, very frustrating for me. We are done. 10 minutes. And there was also this guilt that came with complaining. I knew that so many moms, struggle with this thing, and then I have it in excess, and like it was just, so at some point I felt bad to complain about it, but then like I just had to say it because I was not okay. It was too much. It was very, very stressful. Like every clothes I wore, breast pad would get so full. Like it was really annoying. Like there was even one day that I went to Primark with my husband. Literally, I had breast pad on and everything, and it was just how many minutes, and then the next moment, my clothes, and I was not even wearing a blue shirt. The next minute I saw was like, my clothes was already soaked, and I was so embarrassed and I was so unhappy with myself. Like, what in the world is this? So like, um, like as much as it's a blessing, it was really stressful and frustrating for me, to be very, very honest. Also, I remember in the early days, I didn't really, obviously I didn't have so much knowledge. I just woke up that morning and I felt sick. I felt like I had malaria. I was so hot. I was having a headache. I was cold. I was feeling so cold, and my body was so hot. And I already wore a sweater, and then I wore a winter jacket on it, and I was still shivering under the duvet. And thank God, my friend called at the time, and she asked me what was wrong, and I told her how I was feeling. Oh, that was not just the only thing. That was like the extra. Then my boobs were heavy, like it was so sore and so painful. And then I told my friend, and she was like, "Oh, how are you feeling?" Then I pressed the place. It was hard like rock, and it was so painful. She was like, You're about to have metastasis." I can't pronounce this for the life of me, but yeah, she was like, "Oh, I think you're about to have metastasis," and then she was like, "I need to take ibuprofen immediately and make sure I take it 4 times that day or 3 times that day, and express as much as I could." And so immediately she told me, I took ibuprofen and I took paracetamol, and my body started to calm down. It was like magic. It started to calm down, but the clogged the breast that was sore and painful, especially this part, my left breast actually, it was so heavy and painful. Even though I pumped, that part was still very painful for like 3 days, and I had to, use my hand to express and massage and everything. So it was that day I learned about mastitis, and clogged ducts, and engorged breast. So like I was engorged, and then it was more than engorgement, because it was really heavy, and it was for days, and it was so painful. But I was so grateful that I had friends. I had people that we went through the same experience together, and were able to help each other at the time. So I'm hoping that this sharing this is helpful for one new mom out there, or about to be a new mom. So watch out for these things: metastasis, clogged ducts, or engorged breast. You need to be ensure that your baby is latching correctly, and your baby is sucking as much as possible. And if your baby is not taking too much, make sure you are pumping very well, so that you don't have any of these things. It can be really, 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 really painful. So for pumping, I started with my Midela manual pump, and I used it for a couple of days, and it worked very well. It was very fast. I was expressing quickly. In less than 5 minutes, my 150 ml was full. I could do the 450 ml in literally, I could do the 450 ml in like 10 minutes, 15 minutes max, and everything was fine. And but eventually I realized that the manual pump was stressful. My hand, I was beginning to strain my wrist and my hand. Then I got the electric pump. Actually, it was even my friend that bought me the first electric pump, and the second one I got was a gift from my husband's colleagues in his office. So yeah, they bought me the second electric pump. So the electric pump was literally a lifesaver. So unlike the manual pump that is pretty fast and very manual, you have to use, it's very helpful as well. The electric pump, all you just need to use is put it on and wear a nursing bra, and it does the work for you. You just relax and allow it to pump. So next week, my friend and I are going to be reviewing our breast pumps. So I'm going to be going into details about breast pumps next week. So you want to watch out for next week's video. So right now, my daughter is almost 6 months, and I can say that my breastfeeding journey at the beginning, it was really difficult. It was really hard. Um, I'm I'm an exclusively pumping mom. I don't know if that makes sense, because my baby did not latch, and she doesn't suck directly from my breast. But I've been pumping and it's been working for us. She drinks, like my baby has been exclusively breastfed because she has just been taking it from the bottle from day one. So yeah, if there's anything I feel like I regret or I wish I'd done more was, I wish I'd persevered when she was crying, to try and put her to breast more because I feel like I sort of missed that attachment that comes with putting your baby to breast. Don't get me wrong, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that she takes bottles because I know that some babies don't take bottle and it's a lot of work for the mom. Every second they are they are all over their mom trying to suck boobs. Trying to suck breast. But I really, really, wish that I had that experience as well. So I wish that I was able to balance between both, and she was able to suck at some point as she was able to, take bottle as well. But obviously my baby is a bottle baby and she drank her breast milk through bottle. I can't complain, to be honest. I'm really grateful that at least she's eating and she's eating well. So 6 months down the line, the pain has reduced. The pain from pumping has reduced. You know, the pain from breastfeeding generally has reduced. And I feel like my, supply is declining, but it's not so bad yet. Like it's still, enough for my baby because she's still exclusively she's still being breastfed exclusively, although we've started to try solids, but not full solids. We've tried try, very little things like fruits, just basically fruits. From next week, by God's grace, we'll actively start giving her food and start trying baby food for her because she'll be 6 months on Monday. So yeah, so far so good. God has been great, and I'm really really grateful for how far I've come. I'm proud of myself, and I'm just grateful to God. Also, if there's any mom that is currently struggling to breastfeed their child or that is watching this video and is feeling bad that, oh, their baby's not latching well, or they don't have enough milk supply, I just want to admonish you that the most important thing is for your baby to be well fed. So please do not feel bad. Do not beat yourself up if you are not producing enough. Honestly, if you ask me what I did that made me an overproducing mom, I'll tell you I don't know, because I can't think of anything I did. Maybe because I tried to attribute it to things, but if there's anything at all I'll see that was different, it'll be that maybe because I drank pap almost throughout my pregnancy. I don't know. I really do not know. But I asked my mom. She also said that she, lactated very well. So it could also be like genes or something that was passed. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I did not research it. But I can't come here and lie to you that I did something that I did not do. So I was just overproducing, and it became it became too much for me at some point. But I'm grateful. So please do not feel bad. Do not feel like you have let your child down. Just make sure that you feed them, with the right, food or whatever is available for them. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Today's video really stressed me. I'm going to even say it live here. Like I was really, really stressed filming this video. As I am like this, I felt sick in between filming this video. So to give me part of my back, please just drop it in the comment section. That well done, Wura. We love you and we enjoyed this video. I want to see it in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching. Please watch out for next week's video. We're going to be reviewing breast pump, and I believe that you want to watch it. Thank you very much once again. See you my next video next week. Bye.